And so we became very curious about what the Minister of Environment might have been hiding. And so the first thing we wanted to do was to follow the money. And the first thing we had to find out was, who was it that was digging aragonite in the Bahamas all this time? And where was our aragonite going? It's a good question. When aragonite leaves the Bahamas, where does it go and what happens with it? So in our investigations, we found out that persons only paid about $2 a metric ton. A metric ton is about 2,204 pounds. So they paid about $2 for a metric ton of aragonite, of sand. And we wanted to know, where was this sand going? Was this going to fill up beaches in Florida? What were they doing with our sand? What we found will blow your mind. So our investigators took a little trip to the internet, and we found a curious little website, an interesting little company that actually sells aragonite. But they sell an aragonite of the special kind. It's not just any aragonite. This is what they call the high grade aragonite. This is the good stuff. And not only are they selling it across America and the world, but they're also selling it right on the internet. It was so easy to find what's happening with our aragonite. I wonder why the government couldn't find this out. And so after combing through all of those government files and finding all of these companies, many companies in this aragonite business, some of them seem to be shell companies, but there are so many companies in this business, we came across this little website, this beautiful little website. Look at the beautiful beach on it. Doesn't that look familiar? Well, of course it should. That's a beach in the Bahamas. This website is called Calcean Renewable Biogenic. This is their home page, and they're moving towards a renewable world. And they are talking about what they sell, and that is oolitic aragonite sand. And the first thing they say about aragonite is that it is renewable, it is sustainable, and it is biogenic. Wow! The Minister of Environment must not know about this. They must not have gone to this part of Google to see what is being promoted about our aragonite. Look, it says, Calcean is changing the way we look at natural resources and their incorporation into familiar products and industries. Calcean utilizes renewable biogenic calcium carbonate derived from oolitic organic sand originating in the Bahamas. Wow! And so this is where our aragonite has been going. And so they are saying that it is renewable. Not only is it from the Bahamas, it is renewable. And so this is our aragonite. It's called oolitic aragonite. And it says, oolitic aragonite is a renewable and sustainable source resource. Wow. It naturally forms on the banks of the Bahamas during natural precipitation events called whitings. During these events, blooms of cyanobacteria sequester carbon from the atmosphere, and a mineralization process occurs, forming oolitic aragonite. So they're saying that we have lots of aragonite, and not only do we have lots of aragonite, it's renewable. Oolitic aragonite is a versatile renewable source that provides a number of benefits over standard mine ground calcium carbonate. Calcean offers a number of oolitic aragonite-based products ranging from aquarium substrates to play sand. So this is what they're doing with our aragonite. They're using it for many different things. So our Bahamas aragonite is used for aquariums, reptiles, poultry, play sand, agriculture, and plastics. So there's many uses that this company alone uses for our aragonite. This company is making major money from our aragonite. While our government is researching to see what we can do with the aragonite, a quick Google search would have shown them that our aragonite is already being used around the world. Right now, it's being used for raw materials. This is amazing. It says, Calcean, creator of Sandy Cal, aragonite sand, and Ocean Cal, these are two of the products, powder, is reinventing the way we think about natural resources. Don't we need to rethink the way we think about natural resources in the Bahamas? And their incorporation into familiar products and industries. From agriculture to plastic, Calceum utilizes renewable biogenetic calcium carbonate derived from oolitic organic sand originating in the Bahamas. And so this website, and as I scroll this website, I found even more interesting stuff. Like over here, I went to the blog page. And look, they have information about our aragonite. It says oolitic aragonite is a unique type of biogenic calcium carbonate. It naturally forms on the banks of the Bahamas on a sustainable and renewable basis. They keep emphasizing the fact that this is sustainable and renewable despite what the Minister of Environment has been saying. It's like he's trying to hide something. It's like they don't want us to know that there is this amazing natural resource out there that lots of money can be made from, and they don't want the public to know it. Notice what he said at the end of his interview. He said, well, we're not going to become billionaires from it, but we're going to challenge that, right? He says, due to its renewable nature, it is an environmentally responsible alternative. They are saying that there is good aragonite and there's some fake stuff out there. That's what it said at the beginning. It says, don't get caught up buying fake oolitic aragonite. And so they're trying to tell you that the Bahamas stuff is the good stuff. It says, unfortunately, however, there are many substrates out there that are all a bit of smoke and mirrors. They masquerade as oolitic aragonite, but under close inspection, they are either coral sand or just regular calcite sand. Wow, this is amazing. They even give a graph to show you the proper standard of what aragonite should be. And so if you look at this graph, it says, is it oolitic aragonite? Is it sourced from the Bahamas? So if you want to know if it's oolitic aragonite, the first question is it sourced from the Bahamas? That's the question. And so if it's from the Bahamas, it's the good stuff. If it's not, then it's the fake stuff. Wow. So if the answer is no, then it's either it is not oolitic aragonite or it isn't sourced ethically. No, that also comes from aragonite. Did you know that chickens can actually lay eggs without mating? Chickens can actually lay eggs without mating. They've actually found that when you feed calcium to chickens, that they can actually lay eggs. And this is why the eggs you buy in the store, they cannot hatch, because they're not actual fertilized eggs. They're just eggs. And so they feed calcium to the chickens, and that's what makes them lay eggs. And so this is important in the agricultural industry. So our aragonite is feeding chickens around the world, and that is how they are making eggs. When you scroll down, you will see aragonite calcium feed. Also play sand. Play sand for people around the world is made from our aragonite. And so lastly, I just wanted to show you before we get to the next step, where they not only say it throughout their website, but they have a whole tab where they talk about the sustainability of mining aragonite in the Bahamas. And so basically they're claiming that this thing is sustainable, and they repeat what they said. All right, minimizing their overall carbon footprint, naturally renewable, and they repeated the process of whitings. But look down here, they said within our 500 square mile harvesting area, roughly 2 million tons of oolitic aragonite is generated each year. 2 million tons just in this 500 square mile space. Now, let me show you how big the area is that they are mining. They are mining a huge area. The entire New Providence is just 147 square miles. The entire New Providence, where we do everything, where we live, where we mine, where all of this land is still there that we haven't even touched yet in the West. The entire New Providence is only 147 square miles. These guys are mining an area that is 500 square miles. that is more than 3 times New Providence. So here's the big question. So this company, like others, reportedly pay about $2 a metric ton for the aragonite. So we want to know, what is the street value of this aragonite? We want to know what happens to this aragonite that our country basically sells for $2 a ton. We want to know up to how much do they get for this on the street.